Welcome back, folks. It's Thursday, July 27th, 2023. Born on this date in 1969, Linda Burgess of Madison, a WNBA player with the LA Sparks. Now let's talk about nuclear fission taking us to Mars, 3 arrests in a Rock the South beating, and a wrestling Hall of Famer from behind the mic. My name's Ike Morgan, and we're down in Alabama. Especially in this world of high-speed internet, online shopping, and same-day delivery, we pretty much demand instant gratification. They've done gone and shortened Twitter down to just X, for goodness sake. Now, this has all made long road trips a little more challenging. If we didn't mind the tedious parts of traveling, I suspect most folks would spend a lot more time in Vegas. This issue is really going to come into play when we start visiting Mars, right? Fans of Matt Damon movies know that it takes months to get there, and that's if you time the trip when the planets are relatively close together. AL.com's Lee Roop reports that NASA has announced a partnership with the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency to develop a nuclear-powered rocket, possibly in the next 4 years, that would make your trip to Mars a whole lot quicker. Now, this is not all about our lack of patience. By splitting atoms, there will be less fuel needed on flights and more room for cargo. Lockheed Martin in Colorado will lead development, construction, and testing, and BWX Technologies out of Virginia will build the nuclear fission reactor. Marshall Space Flight Center in Huntsville, meanwhile, will certainly be part of the project. NASA's Jason Turpine said in March that, quote, "We are NASA's space nuclear propulsion lead." 3 arrests have been made since video surfaced from the Rock the South Music Festival of a teenager being viciously beaten at the Coleman event. The 18-year-old was hospitalized with a concussion, fractured nose, and other injuries, reports AL.com's William Thornton. Authorities said the video made a big difference in the investigation, with thousands of responses from the public helping to identify 3 suspects, which I suppose could complicate figuring out whether and how to allocate the $10,000 in lifetime tickets that were put up as a reward. The suspects are ages 20 to 21 and face a year to 10 years in prison if they're found guilty. Estimates have around 35,000 to 40,000 people attending Rock the South at the time the violence took place. More than 105 people attended over the 3 days of the event. An Alabama man who created a pro wrestling podcast has done so well that now he's a star in the business himself. Reports AL.com's John Sharp. Conrad Thompson has been inducted into the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. The 42-year-old Thompson became the 3rd person to be honored with the Gordon Solie Award. Now, if you don't know wrestling history, Solie was a legendary announcer. In fact, if we're talking all-time great sports broadcasters, I'm going Vin Scully, Al Michaels, and Gordon Solie in that order, with Skip and Pete right there close. Now, this honor puts Thompson in lofty company. The Gordon Solie Award belongs to only 2 others, Solie himself and Jim Ross. You've seen his Stetson hat. Thompson's podcasting partner is Bruce Pritchard, who you may remember as Brother Love, and Thompson is Ric Flair's son-in-law. I'll quote from his induction speech. "If you told the little kid version of me, one day you will get paid to talk about wrestling, and Brother Love will be your best friend, and you'll marry Ric Flair's daughter, I'll say roll tide." Thompson is only the 2nd Alabamian that we know of who's been inducted into the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. The other was the Coleman Comet, Tom Drake. Now, the Comet was also the state Speaker of the House, but don't let that taint how you view him as a wrestler. Thank y'all so much for listening. We're going to be back here again tomorrow. Until then, y'all come on by and see us on the internet at AL.com.